This is so much easier for me if I pretend I'm speaking to a room full of people who are here to learn how, over the past couple of years, I have made $5 million selling online done for you in consulting services, having signed up 406 clients, the top of which someone has paid me $115,000 to help them build an acquisition system and a team to be able to capitalize on that while consulting to the owner to be able to actually make their own $1 million business. Get a team of really strong players of 5 people in place who, out of that 406, I signed up about 180 people, right? But the other, whatever 406 minus 180 is how many my team has signed up for me. And then how I did it, like, my way, right? Like, I am an aggressive little Australian. Aggressive little Australian. I'm not going to try and act like I know how to fucking say that. And I, I did a lot of things in an unconventional way in the first place, right? Um, a lot of people come to us. The people who came to me to work with me on this, most of the people who come to me for two things, right? Like, they want help getting clients from social, right? Like, they like my style, they like the way we market, and they want to be able to get people showing up on sales calls who are the right fit, who want what they're selling, who are pre-sold, and are already sitting there going like, I already want to work with you, but I just kind of need to know how it's going to work between us. And something I've been really good at doing is getting someone to a point where they could actually have a really big amount of people coming to um, their inbox already wanting to buy from them, and you could probably sell them in Messenger if you wanted. A lot of people don't, but there is the probability and ability to be able to do that. So a lot of people come to me on how to get clients they actually would kill to work with. And I don't mean like shitty little clients. I typically mean people who are willing to pay you anywhere from like 3 to 7K per month in monthly recurring revenue for a recurring service. So a lot of the businesses that people will typically come to us to say they want to get on board, right? So like they will come to me, an agency, a marketing agency, an SEO agency, a big consulting business, a sales training company, a sales management company. They will come to me and say, hey, I want people who can pay me this much money per month to either run ads for them or train their teams or insert cool service that they may want done in the first place. And I've been really, 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 really good at being able to get these people onto a call with these people, paying them this much money. So like big ticket people who want to pay 3 to 7 grand a month because they see the value in something getting solved for that amount of money is something I've been really good at being able to help people attract onto a call and get them pre-sold before they even actually decide to work with them. And then the call kind of turns into this whole like, I already know who you are. I already know what you do. I already know how you can help. I already want to do it. I just want to have a conversation around how is it that you think that you can help me in the first place. So I want to walk you through the exact way we do that today. The next thing I want to walk you through is the 5 people that I have working in my team that help run the ship for me, right? Like my job is to help lead them, give them all the resources that they need, and create really cool videos like this in a really cool room like this with a really cool pink texter like this, and help the world know what it is we do, how we do it, how we help men create great businesses that help fund the lifestyle they want, bring a team in place to actually get them out of the day to day and build the life that they want for their family. So you guys can come and work with me and my team to be able to help you do that at the same time as well. And I want to walk you through what they do, how they do it, and how I sort of manage and lead them through everything that they do as well. And then I'm going to walk you through how I did it my way as opposed to someone else's, right? Like, as I mentioned, I'm a little bit unconventional. I'm a little bit different to a lot of people. And a lot of people told me the way I was going about it would not fucking work, which is really interesting to me. And I would like to chat through why I think it did as opposed to why other people thought that it may not have at the same time as well. So typically when someone comes to me, right? Typically when a marketing agency, sales training company, SEO agency, lead generation agency, business coach, business consultant, finance consultant, CRM specialist, whatever else it is, whenever they come to me, they tell me, I want to get big ticket clients, right? And the way we typically help them do this is by making sure that they have content that speaks to a problem that their ideal client would actually want to hop on a call to get solved in a way that makes them go like, you actually understand my pain point, you actually understand where I'm at right now, you actually understand why I may not be achieving the things that I want to be achieving in my life. We then take them from content through to an offer, right? So like this is typically all done on some form of social media platform. My favorite over the past couple of years has definitely been Facebook. Not for any other reason than it's just where I started. I've done a lot on Instagram in the past as well, but Facebook has just been the place I've hung out the most over the past couple of years, but it made a lot of money off Instagram at the same time too. So it's typically like high level content, typically communicating pain points, communicating solutions, communicating the way we typically help people, communicating the reasons why you may not have the things you want in your life right now, and talking through what is it that's preventing you from being able to actually achieve the life that you want, and then giving them the solutions and answers through a bunch of different examples of how my best clients, as in, if you're a client of mine, I'm talking about your best clients are achieving the things they want in their life as a consequence of using your services and working with you, and them understanding that you understand their true experiences and problems at the same time as well. Now, how I've had 406 people actually say yes to working with me and thousands of people say yes to working with my clients is we get really, really good at communicating the actual problem that someone is experiencing on a daily basis, right? We get really, really, really good at communicating a huge problem that they may be experiencing, right? So you yourself here may be listening to this video right now with my really cool fucking, that better be on. Yeah, thank God it is. Microphone here. And you may be listening to me thinking, man, if only I knew how to get the type of clients I actually wanted on calls, and if I only knew how to actually get the right team in place to be able to actually help me get out of the day-to-day and scale this up in a formulaic way that helps me do it sequentially so that I can actually know for a fact that this year I will hit $1 million or millions of dollars in sales in a way where I'm not responsible for absolutely everything, but still be able to retain the actual creative control of everything and live the life that I actually want as a consequence of that, then you would probably watch this video and go, oh, fuck, this guy really knows what he's talking about, right? I want you to be able to communicate the actual problems that your ideal client are experiencing on a daily basis at a level that they would go and say to their wife, this guy completely fucking understands where we are at, and he completely understands what we are experiencing. He understands my problems, he understands my team's problems, he understands why I'm not the best fucking leader at home right now as a consequence of not having those things in play and actually getting the results that we want. I want them to feel like we have the answers, right? So in a lot of cases, for like a marketing agency as an example, I told them like not to talk about leads. I think that talking about leads is dumb. This is just a marketing agency example in the first place. I think talking about solving an issue where you are helping a company eliminate sales team churn or sales team not being able to actually get the amount of commission they want, or sales team not performing at the level that you want them to because you don't have pre-sold people showing up on sales call for your team to be able to close, to bring in the revenue that you want, to be able to help you scale the company to the number that you want. And as a consequence of that, you are struggling, and that's why you don't have what you want. You don't have the numbers you want, you don't have the team you want, and that's why you must work with me, essentially, right? That's kind of what you would talk about. It's one of my favorite angles to use for a marketing agency because it actually speaks to a higher level problem. It speaks to a problem that only someone who has a sales team would be thinking about. It speaks to a problem that only someone who has already graduated from the leads conversation would be talking about in the first place. And it really makes it fucking hard for someone to look at it and go, he does not understand the experience that I'm actually experiencing right now. And he actually doesn't make me feel like an idiot, even though I might be. And then we want to be talking about like the problems, right? So like at a higher level, because only someone at a high level is going to want to pay you 3 to 7 grand a month to actually help them out in some way, shape, and form, right? So also chatting with some sales management growth operating companies right now, as in like they come in, they take over the management of a sales team, and they come in and actually talk through or not talk through, but like help you build the systems and help train your team up to be able to hit KPI and crush in 800 or 900 different ways. And we don't want to be talking about like in their messaging. We don't want them to be talking about like sales. We want them to be talking about why your team may not be performing, or why the marketing you guys currently have is not producing the type of lead that you need for your team, and that's why you're losing team at the same time as well. There's a million different things that you could be talking about, but it needs to be at a level that they truly, truly, truly understand. And the reason why I'm so adamant about this, because the quality of the client that you have is going to come back to the quality of problem that you talk about in your content. And if the quality of problem that you talk about in your content is average and at a low level, you can only expect low level leads. But if you talk about a problem that is high up the chain and you talk about it in a way that it really resonates with the ideal client that you're currently working with or choosing to work with, they will start to go, oh, this guy really gets it. You will still get the people who are at the bottom who will see it, and probably opt in and probably want to consider working with you as well, who can't afford your services. But if you only ever talk to the shitty lower level problem, the issue is that you will eliminate the bigger guys who originally and really wanted to pay you the big ticket stuff in the first place, right? That's a huge problem in my opinion, right? Like people not talking about the right fucking things is killing their ability to be able to bring on clients who are willing to pay them the money they actually want to be paid. And that's something that, in my opinion, is dumb to not consider fixing and changing. So you probably should do that. Once we're talking about that stuff, around like I'm talking like my posting schedule for this is like 3 posts per day, typically on Facebook. They're nothing crazy. I literally just have people talk through current experience with a client, current problem someone may be experiencing, or just like think of it in this way, right? Like think about your job is to educate your target market on why they currently have their problems and why they may not be where they want to be right now, and why the things they're currently doing are a huge fucking mistake, right? Like that's the thing you really want to do. That's all you need to do. You need to just explain to them that like what they're currently doing is not smart, and explain to them why it's not smart and what a better way may be, right? So 3 posts per day every single week. And I define a post as like I could literally put a post up about this video and say, hey, just filmed a video on why I think people suck at getting the clients they want. The three main things I spoke about it in, the three main things I spoke about it in it, that's a better way to describe it, were 1, speak to the right problem. 2, post 3 times on Facebook. 3, have cool pink pens, right? Like that's fucking get that right. Have cool pink pens is number 1. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. It's fucking great. But like, I can use anything from my day should and could be a post, right? Especially if you can link it back to something that's preventing your ideal client from getting to where they want to be right now. If you can do that, posting becomes easy. Where the magic comes in, though, right? Where the magic comes in is you want to be able to then have people's attention from those posts go into an offer post that you would do every week. Now, I do 2 offer posts per week. I do one that is a direct offer and one that is an indirect offer. You will see these in my stories. You will see these on my profile. An example of an indirect offer is like, hey, I have a team playbook. Would you like a copy of it? Right? Like, probably better described than that. I may have some actual examples in there or some dollar value, right? Like, would you like a copy of our team playbook on how to hire 5 people that will help you make $5 million over the next um, you know 90 days, right? Like that could be an opt-in for that, because I do have personally for us, I do have a playbook that is a mini course with actual SOPs that cover off how to hire a virtual assistant, an appointment setter, a closer, an account manager, and a coach to actually help those guys out. I have a playbook on that in the first place. So I may have an indirect offer that goes out once per week that tries to give away something that's core responsibility is just to start a conversation about the thing that the indirect offer is about, right? So, like, indirect, the idea here is that when you are putting an indirect offer out, you want it to be a little micro piece, because I call it a micro offer. You want it to be a little micro piece of something that your core offer actually does for someone, right? So I'll give you some examples of it for a marketing agency who works with sales teams. It could be a sales team acceleration playbook for uh, roofing businesses. Here are the 5 ways to get leads that your sales team can actually close, right? Like that could be an indirect playbook of some sort for them. It could be an SEO playbook for getting from 1 million to 5 million and make sure that your team never run out of leads or whatever else it is. It could be let's say you're a sales management company. It could be a dollar remuneration, so like a commission tracking or commission guide for your reps to be able to know what to pay them to get the most out of them, as an indirect offer to bring someone in who either has reps or wants reps and is in a position where they're trying to figure out how to actually pay someone in the first place, right? So the idea is that you want to actually give away something that is a little micro piece of the actual big core offer that you currently do, so that people can actually get some wisdom, have a look through it, get some conceptual understanding as to the things that you actually may be able to do for them in your own world, in your own description, and whatever else it is that you currently do. But the idea is that you just want them to raise their hand so you can start a conversation with them, right? So, like, let's say it is the commission tracking guide, that thing I just mentioned before, right? The whole idea is, and this is where a lot of people fuck it up, like they think that a lot of people think that that's the thing that needs to sell it. But the idea is, like, you just want someone to raise their hand for something that you already know leads back to the actual type of client you actually want and the actual thing that you currently sell, right? So, like, as an example, you get someone who raises their hand for that commission tracking sheet or whatever else it is, right? Now you get to ask an obvious question like, hey, bro, do you currently have reps, or are you looking to get reps onboarded? How many reps do you have? How much money they're making? How much money they're making you? How much money would you like them to be making? How much money would you like to be making? Why do you think you guys aren't making that money right now? Is it because of this or because of this? Is that something you're looking to get fixed? Would you like some help being able to put together a plan to be able to get your reps moving fast and get you in a position where you can actually get the amount of money that you want for yourself and for them, so you guys can hit your goals this year, right? Like, now, like, the indirect thing gives you a world where you're in a position where you can actually have a conversation with someone about the current problems they're experiencing, the current situation that they're in, and if they would like to get some fucking help based off the thing that you're currently talking about them with, for a fact comes back to the core offer that you sell, that you can sell for 3 to 7 grand a month, right? Like, this is where the magic comes in. This is where you have content out there that communicates to the world that you are a G at what you do, right? You then put out indirect offers, which is one of the things that get conversations started for you on a daily basis to be able to actually have you conversing with your ideal target market, so you're in a position where you can actually start having conversations with people to be able to find out their current situation, their goals, the reason they're not currently there, i.e. the gap, and be able to ask them if they'd like some help with that. Get them on a fucking call and sell them into your shit for 3 to 7 grand a month. Who would have thought? Let's fucking go. So that's like an indirect offer. And the next one is like legit. This one here, and this is my favorite, right? Like, when I first started doing like direct offers, like I was like fucking trying to get way too analytical about it, right? It's like, you ever heard of like the 5 guys post? It's like, I'm looking for 5 guys who want to actually get fucking ripped, shredded, and lean over the next 90 days without um, having to, give up the foods that they would really like. Comment below if you would like to get that result or whatever else it is, right? And I remember for me, it was like I was always overthinking trying to get the perfect post for this. When in reality, it was like I just need to ask people if they want to work with me. And now for me, the ones I put out are just like, hey, I want to help 5 people get to $1 million this year. We're going to work on fixing your offer so you can actually get to 3 to 7 grand a month per client. We're going to work on fixing your team inefficiencies or installing a team for you. And we're going to work on making sure that you are out of the day-to-day by middle of the year. If you would like to be able to get to 100 grand a month without having to be in the day-to-day and having a playbook that your team can follow to be able to make money for you consistently, I want you to message me the word team, right? Like that's a direct offer. Now we have a conversation with someone who has directly told you, your shit, I want to buy it. I want help in the way that you just communicated it. That's the stuff that I want from you in particular. Now, there is some finessing that comes with that. There is some, understanding your target market, understanding the problems that they want solved, and understanding how to connect that to the copy that you put out there into your world. But that's the whole fucking crux of it in the first place, right? When I figured this shit out, when I figured out that that was the whole fucking scenario, I just did that every day. I literally just went, you know what? I am going to literally post every day. I'm going to post indirect and direct offers 2 to 4 times a week. I'm going to get as many conversations that I can get as humanly possible every single day, every single week. And I'm just going to make sure that my goal is ask every single human that I possibly can, that I get into a conversation that I decide is qualified, onto a call to get help with a problem that I know that they want solved, that already directly relates back to the offer that I sell, that I can sell for this much. And my job is just to actually get myself into a position where I pre-sell them on the thing that they want solved in the first place, right? So like that's where now I'm in a position where I have conversations and sales calls booked, but there was always something that needed to happen in between here and here. And that's where we have either videos, kind of like this one, kind of like this one with the pink pens I was talking about, or like Google documents that explain the actual offer, explain the way we get it done, explain what we do with clients, give a bunch of examples of different things, kind of like this video, right? Like I'm explaining how I've made my money, explaining exactly how we get it done, explaining the thought process, explaining the way that it gets done in particular, explaining the process, giving away the actual scripting, like everything is in this right now, right? So if you want to come and work with me on how to actually, like if you want to come and work with me and my team, helping you actually come up with the offering, helping you come up with all those like indirect and direct offers, like we'll just build them out for you. I will literally just come up with hundreds of them for you. We'll actually help you schedule them. We'll help you put them out there. And then we'll help train you or your team on how to have the conversations to get them to a sales call. We'll help build out the actual assets, like the videos or the actual Google documents that actually explain the offer to someone, that pre-sell them on the actual thing in the first place. So that when they do rock up to their sales call, they already know what the fuck they're in for. They already know what you're going to try and sell them. They already know whether they have decided whether it's going to be something they actually want in the first place. And now you're just in a position where you guys are having a conversation about how does it work for my thing in particular. I realize I'm talking pretty fast right now into this because like I'm Australian. I love this fucking topic. It makes me excited. And it's too fucking easy to actually get people to work with you once you understand this, right? But just like this video that you're 24 minutes into watching, this is the thing that you want them to watch. Or you want them to watch something that explains the outcome you want them to actually get. So like I help roofing companies go to $5 million a year by fixing lead generation and systems for their sales team to be able to convert at a much higher level and sell bigger ticket items or whatever the fuck it is, right? Outcome, then you want to show the actual process, then you want to show examples of that in truth, then you want to show a bunch of different, stack evidence up. You want to show stacks of evidence as to how it's been true, show them the process, and then walk them through the actual offer. Walk them through, this is how you get started. This is the process. This is how long it takes for us to get results. This is what you can expect. This is what happens in day 1 all the way through to day 90 or whatever the fuck it is. And these are the bonuses you get or whatever else it is, if that makes sense, right? You just want to walk them through the offer. So by the time they get to the call, it's like, oh, yeah, I already know everything's happening. Let's have a conversation about how it actually fits in particular, right? Like, that's the magic. That's the fucking magic, right? That's the fucking magic as to how this works. It's because they've already opted into something that you know is something that is a piece of your core offer in the first place. So you are starting conversations based off a problem that you know that they have, that you know that your actual thing solves. That's the magic. You then get them to a sales call, and they only accept to hop on the call with you if they've watched the explainer of either the offer, the demo of the offer, the demo of the way you guys do things, or the demo of the actual, the document that explains it in the first place. That's the fucking magic. That's how you pre-sell people to get them on a call who want what you are fucking selling. My team and I will just build all of it for you and help you do this and help your team do this. And that's the cool part. Me telling you what we do, right? How it would be dumb if I didn't. That's how I've gone over the past couple of years, made 5 million. Had 406 people pay me to do so. How I had someone pay me 115 is just like, we built out the offers, we trained their team, and then we stayed on them on retainer for a really long time, where I was consulting to the owner, we were training their team, we were doing their marketing and actually helping them outwork the issues that they were experiencing for about a year. So realistically, it was probably closer to about 11 grand a month or something like that in its entirety. So like way more than this. Let's fucking go. But things are going really well, so we just kept the good times rolling, which is how all good solutions should be. Now, is that what we charge everyone? No, but we're definitely trying to move toward that at the same time too. But if you do come and work with me, I can show you how to do the same, because I've done it with fucking hundreds of people now. 406 actually. Let's go. So from that's how we've done that. Right now, the thing that sort of comes behind that is always like, man, I'm one fucking person. There is no fucking way I could have done this all by myself. It's just fucking impossible, right? Like, I have 5 team members who help me do this, and they help me do it like every single day, right? Like, these guys run the whole business. I just create cool content like this. I create cool ideas. I create marketing hooks. In a lot of scenarios, they actually create a lot of that stuff too. And I help train the team on things that they don't understand. I help lead them in the direction they want to go. And I do it in a way that I actually enjoy, right? Like, especially creating stuff like this right now, I do it in a way that I actually enjoy. Now, I'll talk to you about who my team is, what they do, and at what stage I hired each different person, right? So, team member number 1, virtual assistant. I hired a virtual assistant at about 8 grand a month. Now, in reflection, I probably could have hired a VA way earlier than that. I think the VA costs like $700 a month or something like that. She's a G. She actually doubles up as my executive assistant now. Her name's Mary. She's a fucking G. Shout out to Mary. You're a G. You know that. She doubles as my executive assistant as well as actual backend. So she helps out with administration, financials, helping onboarding clients, data management for leads, data management for sales calls, data management for the sales team. She helps with a whole lot of personal things as well. So like setting up date night with my wife, setting up getaways, setting up our travel as a team, setting up fucking pretty much everything in my life, right? And if I had known she could have done all of that earlier on, I would have had her fucking at 2 grand a month if I could have, right? That was the first hire that I got. That freed me up to be able to actually get out of a lot of the actual like technical bullshit and into being able to sell more, right? That was about 8 grand a month. The second hire that I had was a CSM / account manager, right? This person came in at about 20K per month, right? Now, this is for me in the like consulting business that we have. We do done for you. Like, I will do done for you marketing and team training and like helping people actually scale things up from marketing and training team and bringing team in and everything else as well. And we don't necessarily have like a marketing delivery team, if that makes sense. Like our actual sales team and our client success team do the delivery and that stuff, right? So like client success, first person I hired, his name is Jake Thatcher, fucking stud. Runs a sales management company now, and I fucking love him. He runs one of the coaching calls for our clients right now too, which is really cool inside the actual program. He's actually about to get phased out. He built teams for Cole Gordon, built teams for a bunch of different people. Absolute fucking stud, right? But the idea with this person was that they would take over all the actual account management and client communication. So like overseeing client results, overseeing the actual delivery, overseeing how their marketing is going, overseeing the analytics on how them or their setters are going, overseeing the analytics on how them or their sales team are going, overseeing the analytics on pretty much everything, chucking it all into GPT, or chucking it all into having a conversation with myself or someone else on the team about like how do we actually get them to grow a shitload more. They would then also have their monthly conversations with each client. And then every single week they're chatting with them pretty much fucking daily in Facebook Messenger, just to actually make sure that that account is progressing in a way where they're actually getting the results that they want, in a way where they're actually progressing and happy, want to stay, want to pay, want to upgrade, all the goodies that come with it in the first place, right? That person this one brought me back like 10 hours a week. This one brought me back like 20 hours a week, right? That put me in a position where I can put all my effort back into setting and selling, and made it real fucking easy for me to be able to do so at the same time too. And a whole lot more fun, if I'm honest, at the same about it. So that's the second hire. I would hire this person at about 20 grand a month. You're probably going to be paying about, for a good CSM, like anywhere from 3 to 7K per month. It's depending, right? Now, that means we're paying 7,700 at the top, or 4,700, 37 to 4,700 in the median there in the first place. So profit in this area, before tax, is still doing pretty well. You're still sitting at like 13 grand at the least, if that makes sense, right? If you have a delivery team in place where it's also a media buying team or something like that, like you might be looking at about 8 grand a month profit, if that makes sense, right? Which is still pretty good in that scenario. You can still play around with things. You can still live on that if you don't have savings in addition to that too. And you can still live a pretty good life just based off that and nothing else, if that makes sense, right? But buying that back, knowing that I have cash in the bank and doing it that way, now I have the time to, because I have 30 hours back, I can just focus on setting and selling. That's it. That's it. I can get myself to 50K per month plus before I add in an appointment setter. I was going to put up ASS, but I'm going to put in a setter here, right? I can get myself to 50 grand a month, putting in good reps every single day, setting and selling, setting up calls in the way that I described before, selling via pre-selling in the way that I described before, and putting myself in a position where it's just fucking ridiculously hard not to win, right? That's what I would do. That's what I did. It worked really well for me. That's how I typically tell all my clients to do it at the same time as well, right? These are all positions we help our clients hire. We're training multiple CSMs for our clients right now. I'm training so many setters right now. It's ridiculous. One of our client setters was doing like 3 calls a week. I literally looked over a bunch of the actual statistics of what he was doing. I helped him like manage his follow up a little bit better, and he's got up to 15 calls a week in the past couple of weeks, which has literally 4x the business, which is really fucking cool. Different scenario though, right? But the idea here is that like I am now purely selling, right? We don't even have any other delivery costs other than like maybe an extra 3 grand of other support in terms of either virtual assistant or something like that. But you could do this purely with just a 3 team, via a CSM, unless you have a media buyer as well. If you're at 50K per month, now you're in a position where you've got like 50K minus the maybe 12 grand, you're like 38K profit, right? Even take tax out of that, you're still like 20 grand profit after tax at a bare fucking minimum, 20 to 25 grand profit after tax at a bare minimum before you do ads, before you do anything else at the same time too, right? But at 50K per month, this is where I would start looking to bring a setter in. But prior to a setter, there's two things you want to make sure you have in play, right? I watch too many people fail at this because they don't have adequate playbooks and adequate lead flow in play. This is why I do a lot of done for you work for people now too, because I want them to have adequate lead flow and adequate playbooks in place to be able to make sure that they do bring a setter in that they're going to crush. One of the unconventional things I was talking about in my way, just to add a little bit of context in here as well, is like most people say get a VA, then a setter. I think get a VA, then a CSM to take over all the client stuff that isn't major strategy stuff that you may be involved in because you still want to make sure and attain quality control, but you don't have to be the main person doing it all. I promise you that right now. I got to set a third because I wanted to make sure that I could get out of this and be wildly confident that my client results were going to fucking crush, which was the best move I could ever have done, because it really did make a big difference in that scenario at the same time as well, and it really fucking helped too. So do not hate on getting a CSM in after the VA. Like I'll definitely do that because it definitely like defines a world where your client results are going to crush way better, if that makes sense, right? And then you can actually go into sales and crush and make sure that you know that the people are going to get the best results of the world. They're really going to get the help that they want, the things that they need, and no balls are going to get dropped because you have everything moving there as well, right? That's my perspective. I did it my way and fuck anyone that says otherwise. They only care about money. But then I got like a setter in play. 50 grand a month is typically going to do that, but you need to have 500 leads per month for a setter for them to start being able to produce at the same level that you were, right? So like making sure that we have your posts going out, making sure that we're testing out those actual angles of those indirect and direct offers, because once you're at that stage, you want to have a war chest. If you're doing 2 per week, let's say this takes you 6 months, and it just can take you 6 months, probably even quicker. If you were really good, like if you're really committed to this, it could definitely be quicker. But you want to be testing. Let's say it's 6 months. That is 24 weeks times 2, 48 offers we've tested, right? That's 48 different offers. So you've got 24 indirect and 24 direct offers that you've tested. Now we have a playing ground if we're actually tracking and measuring our metrics effectively of which ones actually produce clients and which ones actually produce the level of client that we want consistently for us to be able to start running some paid advertising too, to be able to increase the number of leads that you're actually getting in the first place as well. It's a lot of fucking language. But the idea here is like, that's the fucking thing that I would do. I would definitely put myself in a position where I would get to 50 grand, invest, what's $100 a day, maybe even like $300 a day, $100 to $300 a day on advertising. Maybe if it's 100, it's 3 grand a month. Yeah, it's like 3 to 9 grand a month on ads. So like you're at 50, we already said it's about 20 grand in profit. 25 grand. Add 9 grand in ad spend at the absolute most. You're still at 10 grand in profit, which is really good because you have profit there. But that will buy you 500 to 700 leads for your setter to be able to help you set up sales calls for you to be able to get to 100 grand a month really fucking quickly. Like you can go from here to here in like 2 months with no extra spend, and you're spending like 31K per month or something like that in its entirety, but you're at 100 grand a month now, right? So like it's 69K in profit, mate. 69. Funny stuff. But like that's the reality, right? Like that's why it's really cool. It's a small team. They don't need much management if you actually have your playbook in place. You can spend 10, 20 minutes a day with them just reviewing conversations and giving them feedback and stuff as well. But you're like 60, 70 grand profit. It's fucking great. You can enjoy it. You can have a team that take over majority of the day-to-day. You can sell and really enjoy life in that scenario at the same time too, right? Like these are the core 3 things I would do to get to 100 grand a month, because that's what I did. That's what I typically have a lot of people do. Makes a lot of sense if you put that scenario in as well. Number 4, sales rep, right? This is, that was terrible fucking writing. I would redo that in another world if I could. Anyway, so like sales rep, that's what's going to help you get to like, 150 to 200K per month, or just get out of selling in the first place, right? Like you may need to up some ad spend in this scenario to be able to get more calls in play. you may need to do some QC and calls, or you could just have us do QC on these guys and us do QC on these guys and us do QC on these guys for you. That's just part of what we'll do. But the idea is like we want to put you in a position where you are actually getting these guys selling at like 30% at an average. These guys setting 15 plus calls per week. These guys taking over all the actual, that's account managers taking over majority of the actual client communications and stuff as well. So you can actually get from 150 to 200 grand a month on anywhere from like 10 to 15 grand a month on ad spend, and just like hammering pipeline like crazy to be able to get massive income for this guy and massive income for this guy, right? On average, most setters on my team right now are making anywhere from 5 to 7 grand a month. Sales rep was making anywhere from 8 to probably 17 grand a month or thereabouts. The average is about 15, which is kind of cool. CSM averaging at about 12 grand a month right now because of commissions, right? Like if they keep someone on for longer term than their actual contract, so like came in for 6 months in the beginning and they resold them for 12 months, they get 10% of that sell, which is really cool. So they can make commissions in that way at the same time too. That's the 4 people I have on board. That's the sequencing I typically bring them in for. That's the decisions I would typically make as to when to bring them in and what to have them do in the first place as well, and how to manage them at the same time, and what I'm working on with them, and how to actually have routine with those people at the same time too. The 5th person, which realistically wasn't that fucking crazy, was either a coach for these people to be able to help you, to be able to help you create a world where you don't have to fully coach these people on your own. Now, this could be someone that is, part of a program you run, or it could be someone that just comes in for your team and actually helps coach those people up and help manage those people with you at the same time too. Or it could be us, right? Like that's a probability or option for you at the same time as well. The way I always did it was like, for our actual consulting program, I would hire people that I wanted to train my team that also helped the clients. Fucking genius. And it really helped in that scenario at the same time too, right? So like 406 clients, 5 million. I sold like 180 of those people. So, 220 of them came from these people, which is fucking great. And they are pretty much self-managing, right? Like that's the really cool thing, because we've built it in a way where we built such good playbooks, and I'm just leading, creating, and helping them get into a place where they do not have to actually think on their feet all the time for themselves and always have training around different things. But I'm actually in there doing this stuff while they're out there doing that stuff. And we meet at the end of the day, or beginning of the day, depending, to figure out what problems they're experiencing, so I can help them actually move through them much quicker, increase our revenue, and then help our clients do the same. Because if I'm not in here, I'm typically working with a client's team or a client on our marketing, or with my team to be able to help them help more people, or help us get more people to help, or optimize someone's results at the same time as well. So that's kind of the way we do things. That's how I've made 5 million. That's how I've got 406 clients. They're the 5 people that typically help me do it. And my way is my way. What I was taught to do in the beginning was to, scale ridiculous numbers for no reason. I was taught to only talk about getting leads. I was taught to only fucking talk about the things that I knew my ideal client would want, right? Then I came up with some offers from my past experience that most of the people in the industry did not understand, right? Like I came up with an offer that, I'm not going to write it up, that was about pipeline. As in, like, if you have a pipeline full of dead leads, my team and I will come in and get them and close them. Or my team and I will show you how to get money out of that pipeline really quickly. I had a coach who was like, no, not going to work. And I'm glad I didn't listen to him. Then I had another coach who was like, no, not going to work. And I'm glad I didn't listen to him either. Because we put out a pipeline playbook. It was 12 scripts and offers on how to actually get people out of your existing pipeline, and how to get them onto a call and get them buying from you really fucking quickly. And the cool thing about that is that was our most downloaded playbook because no one else is doing it, right? I went about it my way. I did it my way. And that alone has probably attributed maybe 120 of our actual clients that have signed up with fuck all work having to have been done with it. I swear. They look at the playbook, they go, these guys really know their shit. And it was different to what other people were thinking about. And it was like an aggressive little Australian giving the actual information around it. Because like as I'm talking to you here is how I write copy. Like I talk how I talk, and it's aggressive and it's fucking Australian and not something else, if that makes sense, right? Um, and I've always gone about things my way, right? Like people said, go get a sales. I'm like, no, I want a fucking CSM team. So I make sure all my client results are good and then bring a sales team in to be able to help scale things up there after that. I listen to a lot of people who are saying like you should not do things this way. You should not do this up marketing. You should not be so fucking aggressive. You should not do all these things. I'm like, that just doesn't sit well with me because it's not congruent for me and me in particular, if that makes sense. And fuck you for thinking otherwise in the nicest way possible. Nah, not really. And it made me think like, I just want to do things my way, right? Like there are business principles, there are analytics, there are statistics, there is data to go through, yes. But once I have that data, I want to be able to do it my way. I want to be able to do it in a way where like I actually enjoy the way I do things. And it's worked out much better for me. We can close people pretty much in Messenger right now. We can close people on a 15-minute call because they've already watched videos like this and they're like, I want to work with this guy. I want him to help me get to 100 grand a month. I'm already at 10 grand a month. I want these people in place to get me out of the day to day. And I want people to be pre-sold on this stuff, right? That's the way I wanted to do it. And I didn't want to have long, ugly sales calls. I didn't want to have to be really highly skilled at pretty much fucking anything, right? I just wanted to be the aggressive little Australian that I am who wants to help a lot of men fix the conversation at the dinner table at home where their wife looks at them and asks like, hey, when's she going to turn around? And I want them to be able to build wealth for them and their family. And I want them to be able to be in a position where they can have a team take over the day to day so that they can spend more time with their family and their team can build wealth and have their family looked after so that the whole thing that we're doing is fixing many broken marriages, which is a really interesting way to say that's why I love doing what I do, right? But the interesting thing here is that like I did it my way and I don't want anyone else to do it in a way that they don't want to do, right? So if this does not align with the way you want to do things, you don't want to have a team on board like this. You don't want people coming to you already wanting what you were selling. You don't want to sell things at 37 grand a month. Then don't fucking listen to me. Like, don't. At all. Do not fucking listen to me at all. Please don't. Do it your way. Do whatever way you want. I don't give a fuck what that is. This is the way I want to do it, right? But if by chance you do see this and go, man, that's the way that I would like to do it. This guy seems to know his stuff. I love his accent. I want a cool texter just like his and a hat like this with a microphone on it for my own fucking world as well. Right? And a cool whiteboard. Like those are things that I want. I like his style. I like those things. I like the way he goes about it. If that's the way you would like to do it, hit me up. Hit my team up. My team and I will build out your offer. My team and I will help build the marketing for it. My team and I will build out those indirect and direct offers for you every single week. My team and I will help you build playbooks for a team to be able to come in and execute in these positions. From day one, they'll succeed because everything will be done. We'll help train them and help them hit KPI under your leadership in a combination and partnership between you and I. And if you want to be aggressive about your marketing, you want people to look at your marketing and go, oh my fucking God, he really fucking gets it, then you should come and work with me. I'm going to put an application below this. You can fill it out if you want, or you can reach out to me on Instagram and say, I saw your video and I want your help. That would be all I need to know from you, right? But I want you to do it your way. I don't want you to do it my way. I want you to build the business that you want. I want you to do the things that you want. I want you to create the content that you want. I want you to build the team that you want. And I want you to do it in a way that actually aligns with you. That's all I have for you today. 49 minutes of me telling you everything that I do, everything that my team does, and everything that I've done to be able to get what I've done so far. If there's anything about this that you want to know more about, hit me up. Happy to give insight, happy to answer questions, whatever the fuck it is. But if you do want to work with me, just be direct and honest about it. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I'll chat with you in Messenger. I'll show you the offer document. I'll show you the way we get things done. I will hop in there and train these team members up for you. I will hop up in there and help you come up with those offers so you can actually get people in every single week to be able to get the results that you fucking want, and make sure that your wife can look at you and go, oh my God, you are the man. I fucking love you. You're really helping me build this shit. We're investing now. We've got fucking wealth being accumulated, and my future is secured. And as a consequence of working with Chris Morrison, things are going to be good, right? That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That's my whole fucking story. I'll catch you guys later. My voice is fucking hurting. Pink Texter again. Peace.